Hey, I'm Scotty, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to sketch this beautiful Austrian town in a really simple way using ink and watercolour. So the anchor point to the sketch will be the end where the headland is. So if we divide the page into three from top to bottom, we go 1, 2, 3. Let's go across and mark a dot just in from the border there. And now we want to make this coastline of the town go all the way to the bottom here. I'm just making my way down, come in. To get down there, that's a really loose line. Now almost halfway in the page we have that point there, where that point would be somewhere about there. Most important part of the town, which is that beautiful church right here, and put 2 dots there for the width of the church. The top of the church goes to about there. That's that building next to the tower there. That's about 3 of those up, so count 1, 2. So we have 3 spaces there, triangle shape there. That's a nice silhouette of the church. We're not going to draw every building and window. It's just giving the idea of the town. It's just the vibe from here up to this point at the top. Now let's draw the greenery. It goes up. You can just outline a few of the peaks. We'll continue some of these buildings here. Next here. It's roughly silhouetting this building. I think there's a tree there, so I'll add that in. Let's draw that line there. So let's roughly join those up. Oh, that was a crazy line. There's another big shape there. It comes across. Roughly line these 2 points of the roof. And put a dot there for the top of that roof. And we've got a couple more down here. Between these 2 buildings here, they're right close to the top of the page. So little tiny bumps. Draw this down. The final one, coming down a bit from that mountaintop, kind of looks like a wave. And that is all the main shapes complete. A really important step to dividing this sketch up. Okay, now we're going to go into detail. I'll move from the left here to the right, adding as much detail as I feel fit. And there's a tree here like this. Some windows, I'll add those in. Round tree, like some cars. And draw a triangle here. And then a triangle there. So I'll just draw those 3 windows and just do this really loosely. If you want to simplify this more than I am, go ahead, that's fine. So I feel like that's got just enough detail in there, don't need to do any more. Coming up there, and then different trees, goes off and then across. It's not totally accurate. Very tall arched windows. Windows on the side. This branch coming up here. Right, I think that's enough. Now onto the watercolour, and I've got cerulean blue. So yep, that's got lots of water in it. Comes down, add a bit of ultramarine in there, and avoid the boat if you can. See the viridian green, and that would be our mountain reflecting. So I've got sap green. So in the foreground we try and use a bit more warmer colours, and just kind of going around imagining that I'm sketching some loose trees in there, and here as well on the end. While that's drying, I'm going to get viridian green, drag that paint around, leaving gaps, and try and get as light as you can for this background. A more saturated viridian green, go into the corners here, just gives it interest as well. Now I've got my round 12 brush, and we're going to be doing some of the buildings here. Put lots of water in this top palette and use Payne's grey. I mean, this one is very light, so perhaps not to do that too dark. Burnt umber into that mix. See, there's a subtle difference. Make our way around. So using some of those colours, we can add the reflection in the water there. I've got cadmium yellow. Let's put some in there. Let's add a bit of yellow ochre into that. Now the other buildings. Start with burnt sienna. We've got that top there. Now I've done all the block colours, but I think there still needs to be some detail to this watercolour. So we're going to add the darker little spots now. Right hand side of the tower. So a darker area in there. So now we're going to go into shadows. So we've got Purple Lake. We'll go around the sketch, make sure it's dry, and then let's just see where the shadows are. This section's under here, and then underneath is Eve. This right hand side. Across there, and then see this side of the building, the whole side is in shadow. Start on this right hand side and go right down there. Going around here, and I'll get a bit closer now to my buildings. It's quite blue down there. Finger there, and now tap. Now the last final touch is the highlights. Just if it needs to stick out. So on the roof line here, like that, corners. It divides the surfaces up. So lots of little horizontal lines, quite close together, and they blend off. And so there's my final result. I hope you enjoyed the process of constructing a complex scene like this. If you want the full version of this tutorial so you can follow along, that's over on my Patreon website, and I have the reference there you can download as well. Plus over 100 other tutorials. We've got people sketching, portrait sketching, urban sketching, all sorts of sketching there, and a great warm community where you can post your sketches and I can have a look at your work there. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.